Hello everyone, here we are, week 2, module 2 of our current topics in healthcare administration, HCA 398. Okay, a couple of new things. First is this whole new space that you've landed on. This will be the landing page going forward to the end of the course. So I got rid of that first intro page. Now we're going to be doing this page. And what you're going to see on here are basically weekly videos. Usually I shoot a weekly video that will talk about last week, talk about the current week, and anything else that's going on with the course. I also may post just small announcements that I really want to get in front of you. I know we have an announcements area within Canvas, but that doesn't always get read. So this will be right in front of you. You can't miss it because it will be the first page you land on when you go into the course. So what you want to do in this news and announcements area is look for any new videos, sometimes I'll just if it's a small message, I'll just put a small message in there. Look for anything new. Make sure you're watching those videos or reading those announcements. They are always to your advantage. If we're having to change something in the course, I'm going to usually announce it in a video like this. And again, it's usually, always to your advantage. Either we're extending a due date, or we're eliminating something, or we're changing something, or clarifying something. So make sure that you're watching these videos. All right, and now the format for the videos is typically, again, I talk about last week, and then I'll talk about the current week and anything else. So let's start that right now. So last week, great start, guys. Some of the best one-pagers I've ever seen. You guys are doing a fantastic job there, and great, in those forums. Great posts for the most part. Fantastic job. If you're not getting all of the points in either one of those assignments, go back and look to the assignment criteria. Listen to the video that I had, originally posted. May not be able to access that easily, but where I talk in detail about the assignment. But if you just go to the assignment itself, you can see kind of the parameters. I try not to, pull any punches here. So if it's there in the criteria for the assignment, just make sure, you're fulfilling that. But for the most part, everybody did an excellent job. I would like to highlight a couple of those one-pagers because if I didn't pick yours, doesn't mean it wasn't outstanding. These two that we're going to talk about or kind of review really quickly, which I've scrubbed the personal information on there, are really, I guess, outstanding examples that fall into the two general categories that students do these one-pagers in. Doesn't mean there's not other areas that can be done, but these are kind of the two that generally kind of shake out. And again, so maybe might stimulate some ideas in your own one-pagers. I know that I said at the very beginning last week that if you can, try to stick to one format. But if you're going to change or tweak up what you have, do it this week. Because you may look at this and go, oh, I really want to do it that way. That's fine. There's no penalties for changing your format. I just thought that if you are creating a cohesive product at the end, again, it should be a cohesive project. I think it'll be about 12 pages that you have this thing stapled together, 12 pages, if you want to have it in a physical format, which I think is probably a good idea, that you kind of have your own cheat sheet on evidence-based management that you can actually use, pull out and start using, or maybe, heck, even share it with colleagues as you become an evidence-based manager. So that's kind of the goal for that. So if everything was kind of the same, makes it kind of the kind of sense if every page kind of followed a format. But you can change to something if you want, not a problem. All right, so that's that. Let's take a look at those, and then we'll talk a little bit about last week. But overall, great job on all the assignments last week. All right, so let's remove this and take a look at some of the assignments here. I'll shrink my picture. So this one was a great example of sort of a traditional kind of outline format. I thought it was really well laid out. The student captured all of the essentials of the textbook. And let me go back and mention, a few of you sort of went off into different areas. There's no reason whatsoever you need to do that. Stick to the textbook. These guys have really come up with a process that I think is clear, concise steps, where a lot of other people talking about evidence-based management, they touch on a lot of these areas that these two authors have present, but not in a cohesive step-by-step process. This is very, again, I always love stuff that's not theoretical, that what can we actually use? These guys put it straight forward, like how we can actually use it in steps that can be applied. So again, they've done a great job with that. And that's what we want to, that is what we're summarizing. There's no need whatsoever to go and have two sources. We don't even need to use in-text citations. You don't even need to have a reference page. Some of you had like a reference page. I'm like, we don't need one. No reference page required. No in-text citations, because you're just summarizing what's in here. Because these guys have, unless something comes up better, I don't know. But I think they have a great approach to evidence-based management. And that's what this student here did. They summarized the unique steps that were presented in the textbook. They've captured everything, all of the essence on one page. Great. Traditional kind of, I would say, sort of a blend of an outline and sort of a blend of bullet points. But great job. And they utilized the entire page to capture that, because there's a lot of stuff in each one of these steps. So you should have a nice, robust page that kind of looks, like that. If your page is a little light, if you're only using 2/3 of a page, you're really not covering that, whatever that particular step that we're working on in sufficient detail. All right, so there you go. There's one idea. The other one was, this one's pretty cool. I've seen students use Excel before. This one is just a great job in applying, I'm assuming this is Excel. I'd have to double check. This could also be done in Word. And it could be done by using a combination of insert chart. So you can insert charts and do that. You could also do it in Excel. Maybe they did it in Excel and imported it into Word. I don't know. But it could definitely be done just by using chart functions. But Excel might be a little bit easier to do something like this. But I love the way that it's color-coded and they captured all the steps and very cool. I could see this like being laminated and, having all of the steps done. So, great job there. So there's a few ideas. There were so many other, great approaches, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of them that sort of encapsulate the general themes. And maybe if you're looking to change, or maybe you really didn't like the format that you did, you might see those and go, oh, I'm going to do it that way. So there you go. But if you got full points on that assignment, keep doing what I guess if you don't want to change, you don't have to. All right. So there's that. Okay. So let's talk about, this week. Let's bring back the course here and let's see here if this works. All right, cool. All right. So again, the news area, we already talked about what to do there. And for this week, we've got a couple of one-pagers due. And that's usually we're going to find about 2 per week. So, but you don't have the form to do this week. So it's, again, doable. You got 2 pages of content to create. You got some decent reading to do, but 2 pages of content. And we're going to be going into that step about acquiring practitioners and then appraising the information that they give you. There was an error. Thank you for the student that brought it to my attention. For whatever reasons, kind of technical, but there were 2 links in here, but one of the hyperlinks was linking to the wrong area. Even though it was the correct linking code, the underlying hyperlink was incorrect. And I think that had something to do when I was building the page out that I messed it up. So right now, those 2 podcasts should go to the correct area and for what we're talking about. So with practitioners. So take a listen to those. Great podcasts. Hopefully that is fixed. I did test it earlier today, and it seems like it's working. And that pretty much, again, we do have some supplemental reading on evidence-based practice in healthcare. That's there for you. But other than that, that's pretty much all that we have this week. Again, focus on those 1-pagers. Make them nice and solid. Again, full pages of information on there. And, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, that pretty much covers it for this week. Next week, look for our first extra credit opportunity, which will bring in some artificial intelligence. I'm still kind of wondering, how can we, I don't know if we'll do it this route, but it'd be interesting to apply evidence-based management and decision-making using artificial intelligence. I'll have to noodle around with that. I think it could be done, but I'll have to work on my prompt engineering to do that. But next week, we'll have an extra credit opportunity as we enter Module 3. Everybody have a fantastic week, and I'll check in with you in Module 3. Thanks.